Hi, this is Paul from Paul's Prairie, where everybody's welcome. You can come here, you can listen, you can learn. We want you to comment, we want you to like, we want you to subscribe so you can get the latest videos when we upload one. And then together we can make America great again.
All right, Paul, it's a pleasure to be back here on the Prairie, and we appreciate you letting us here, and we appreciate you letting us ask about some political questions and the political climate in the United States. And one thing that's been a very important topic of discussion in this 2016 election has been ISIS and radical Islam. Do you believe that we can defeat radical Islam and ISIS?
In the mind of Paul, yes, I do. If we have the resolve to do it, we need to set the goal and go out and get it. And that's what it is. We need to go after them, wherever they may be, and let them know that they have no place to hide. So we're coming for them, and we will stop them dead in their tracks, because we did defeat other tyrannies. Case in point, Hitler. And he was just about ready to take over the world, but we beat him. And I think if we have the resolve, we can take care of ISIS also.
All right, now, Paul, another on the ISIS topic has been the fact that it seems as though we have been going kind of soft, and you had said something in there where you think we should go full steam ahead against ISIS. And so what, in your mind, would be the best approach? Many people have talked about financial restrictions. Some people have talked about airstrikes. Some people have boots on the ground. And so there's a lot of different theories as to how we can stop them. But what do you believe is the best approach that the United States could use?
First, you start a verbal war where you make it clear that we're coming for them. You don't tell them how it's to be done. You just implement procedures, processes through speaking with our military people and tell them what the objective is, and let them tell the leaders how to go about it. That's what it's for. And let them figure out the correct procedures to reach the goal of the complete obliteration of the enemy. In this case, ISIS.
So, as we know and we can see, you are a good fan and a big fan of Donald Trump. And so, with that said, one thing that Donald Trump has proposed is a ban on Muslim immigration from Muslim countries. Do you support that ban, and if so, why?
Yes, I do support that ban, because we can't vet them. There's no background for us to go check. Okay? You need to research Islam in general. And I think if you take the time, we won't get into it in this particular episode, but you will find out what that's all about. And I think you'll be surprised. You can check on various media outlets and just, well, we'll say Google Islam and see what you get. I think you'll be surprised when you find out what the real truth is, ladies and gentlemen. I think Donald Trump is the man to lead us through this problem with ISIS, and he is on his way to becoming president, hopefully, and he'll make America great again. And like he said, America first. America first, ladies and gentlemen. That's important.
All right, Paul. So one other thing with this is that on the Donald Trump note has been that a lot of conservatives, prominent conservatives, one being Glenn Beck and others, they have actually talked about how Donald Trump is related to Hitler in what he's trying to do, and they're trying to compare him to fascism. And there was actually a recent comment made by Joe Biden that Donald Trump is like Joseph Stalin. So what is your response to when someone says that Donald Trump is racist or a bigot or is fascist, such as those people were?
No, I don't think so. You need to talk to people who really know Donald you'll find out that he's a really down-to-earth person, somewhat approachable, considering he's a billionaire, and he is for the United States first, under all circumstances. We are first. He put everybody on notice, enemies and adversaries, and if they get upset, that's their problem. And I don't think he's like Hitler or Joseph Stalin.
So one other question with in relation to Trump. Recently, these past few days in this past week, we have seen the campaign manager Paul Manafort quit the Donald Trump campaign, and right around when we saw that, we saw a pivot of Donald Trump from a more off the cuff, more just fireball Donald Trump, compared to what we've seen in the last week or so, where Donald Trump has shifted more to teleprompters and more to professional speeches as opposed to off the cuff. Do you feel like that is a good thing for Donald Trump, or do you feel that he should go back to the way that he was and just kind of off the cuff fireball brand Donald Trump? What are your thoughts on that?
I think him switching from firebrand to a more professional speaker is somewhat of a benefit, because he's showing everyone that yes, in matter of fact, he can do your professional speaking. He can be a little bit more articulate, a little bit less of a firebrand, off-the-cuff person, if need be. But he also can be a plain-spoken person that everyone can understand and relate to.
So do you think
The
overall
non-politician.
do you think overall that will help him, or do you think that it will hurt him?
I think it'll help him, because it'll show that he can, in fact, speak at every level. Okay? Whatever person is listening, they'll understand him. He can go into your so-called political setting and speak from a teleprompter where everything is written. But he can also speak right from the heart, from his own mind, and not be prefab.
And so, one other topic that has been prominent in this election is kind of, and you mentioned it in our last meeting, in our last episode, where you had kind of talked about that this is a non-politician year. And one thing that we've seen go hand in fist with that is that we've also seen kind of a switch and a revolt against the mainstream media. And so we want to know here today, are you a mainstream media person? Are you an ABC, CBS, NBC person? Or are you more of a non-mainstream media like Drudge, Breitbart, or talk radio?
You can't rely on one source of information. You have to get your information from many sources, whether it's the mainstream media, whether it's Breitbart, Drudge, talk radio, newspapers, even the internet. But I'm having a problem here with the internet here on the Prairie, because I have to see if I have to get that satellite internet, because we don't have cable or anything. So I'm a little bit limited with the internet. But anyway, you have to get your information from many sources and then draw your own conclusion from the information that you gather.
So, Paul, the question for right now and the question for the end of this episode that we have is, what would you do if you saw a Sasquatch on the prairie?
Well, they're somewhere between 7 and 9 feet tall. They're supposed to be covered with reddish-orange hair. Now, if you could see, on the prairie, there's not many trees, so I see this gigantic thing walking towards me. I could break out my shooting iron and shoot him. I could break out my trusty slingshot and use my slingshot and beat him right in the head. Or I could say, hey, can you vote? God bless you, God bless your family, and God bless the United States of America.